Hello traders, right, this is probably the end result of about 6 hours of trying to make videos that I keep getting interrupted with. And also I think one of the biggest problems is I'm using OBS, Windows OBS to record from. And it works superbly, but the interface isn't quite right. In the old days I used to use other recording software, and they just have a little box up on the, you can't see it, it's off screen, but up on the right hand side that I could pause and do everything. But OBS doesn't seem to allow me to do that. That I can't get the screen small enough to be off this screen, as it were. Consequently, by the time I've opened OBS to stop the video or pause it, I've pressed the wrong button, messed up all sorts of things. It's a real pain, but I must persevere. And then you've got all the interruptions, and then you've got all the boo-boos as well. So anyway, probably wasted 5 or 6 hours of my life. I'd forgotten how hard it is to actually produce these things. So I'm going to get to the point now. There were about three different points to make the video, so I'm going to try and get all three in this one. Start with something that was highlighted to me this morning, so we'll do it backwards. And then I want to cover the indicators, the MACD and why it's not here anymore, and what my thoughts are on this. So first off, a real rant about something that's happened. I've been watching my own videos because I'm realizing there's loads of stuff that needs revisiting. Old indicators, as I said here, old ideas and strategies. Excuse me. Another reason that the videos are being thrown out, but I'm just going to persevere. Apologies, guys, but you just have to put up with the sniffles and ums and ahs. So I'm getting all these weird and wonderful, well, they're not wonderful, all these weird and horrible feeds related to trading, ideas rather, pop-ups, whatever you want to call them, in my timeline on YouTube. And this morning's one really got my goat because the guy was a complete novice, for want of a better word, a chancer. You could tell that by the stuff he was. It was all about wicks and how the wick and this is the best thing since sliced bread. Obviously clickbait and designed to capture the noobs, and the number of comments, probably 100 times more than I get, proved it. And it's a sad fact of life that 99.9% of the people online on social media are scammers, influencers, whatever you want to call it. I mean, this morning's one, what really got my goat was he was perpetuating the myth about indicators don't work. Indicators are lagging. Whatever. All these people like ICT, trend lines don't work. These people, the reason I keep picking on ICT, he's a danger to traders. By believing, believing all the hype back in the day, 20 years ago, about indicators not working and we have to trade naked charts and that, same as RRR, total myth, total bullshit. But the indicator argument, you can't blanket any trading saying or myth or whatever like RRR. Some people make money on RRR, fine, but don't ram it down people's throats and tell them not to do it. I'm not telling you not to do RRR. I'm just saying it is a very, very big misdirection. Same goes for indicators not working and lagging. They will lag. All indicators will lag. I've even said this about my my chosen top star indicator, the RSI histo. These two are, this is probably 99% fantastic, or 100%. This one is hovering between a similar, it's got to be 98%, because actually now I'm talking about it out loud, I could never do without this, but at a push I'd have to do without that. And then you've got the MACD, which was on and off my charts for years, and other indicators like CCI, loved it. We've got the RSI on there now, but not used in the way most people use it. But this needs to be said here as well. Nothing in trading is black and white. So what I say is not the right way necessarily. It's an option. And I truly believe you're doing damage to yourself if you believe these people pushing the agenda that indicators don't work. Because, you know, my story, my backstory is I found trading. I've talked about this before, so apologies to people that watch all my videos. But I found trading and it was all with indicators. And then I saw this little thing moving up and down, which was price, and thought, crikey, you know, and then an arrow like this, buy, and an arrow the opposite way, sell. And the amount of times it looked like it was working was just crazy. So I bought into the whole indicator thing as a total newbie trader. And long story short, what every scammer, subseller, and influencer who just wants to get 100,000 followers on YouTube and make a penny a click, all of these people just want your money, just want you to join their cult. They will say anything, like ICT, to get you into his cult. I mean, ICT, yeah, he is the algo. What? He developed it, you know. We're talking, I don't know whether he was alive in 1930, I doubt it very much, but the patterns are the same then, you know, in the books, the trading books. So, you know, that lie is blown out of the water. Excuse me. FVG, just another name for a gap, you know, fair value gap. I mean, for God's sake, get a life, baby ICT scammers. So, everything works. Moving averages work. You know, Fibonacci's work. Pivots work. All the other stuff, market profile I've studied, that works. Fundamentals works for some people, although I think, quite frankly, that is probably one of the third biggest lie on the internet. The first is ICT can trade. The second is indicators don't work, and then fundamentals work. Swing traders, of course, can use those things, but I'm not a swing trader, and I could never be a swing trader. So, the biggest point of this video at the start, because of the title, is, excuse me, if you discount indicators, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you promote that lie, you are doing thousands upon thousands, millions of other traders a disservice. They will fail. You know, 95% or whatever fail. Excuse me. And one of the reasons could be because they've been misdirected by these scammers and these uneducated trading people with 3 months chart knowledge. You know, you've got to take on board what traders with a track record of studying charts for years and years and years and years, I'm talking well over a decade, or forget it. And then you have to take from them the elements that chime with you, and you build on them. You know, I mean, let's talk about basics. If you were going to go on to basics, remember to use search on my Twitter feed and on my YouTube channel. Type basics in there. Type bus to get the bus pullback, break and close. Type 2B in there. Type 3CR in there. And, you know, momentum, MTF momentum, MTF, multi-time frame. And if you concentrated on Vic Sperandio's 2B reversal and 1, 2, 3 higher low, that's the 2B part here. And here, this little bit in here is a 2B, but it's also 2B if you drop down the time frame. I won't do it. Well, why not? Why won't I do it? Let's do that. That is a 2B. I mean, I haven't checked this, so, you know, it might be a mess. Take the scroll off. There. Let's go on to M1. Let's put it on the middle candle, the bottom candle. Also, we've got a 3CR in there, of course. They're everywhere. Well, I say everywhere. They're at prominent points, and they are ultra reliable, providing use multi-time frame analysis for timing. There's another 2B there, and a 1, 2, 3. You know, that's a 1, 2, 3 high low, part of this bigger 2B that we showed. And this is another 1, 2, 3 high low, but they will also be potential 2Bs. Excuse me, sorry for being so croaky. I just can't shift this. There it is there. So that's Sporandio's low. That's the trigger bar. The poke bar. That's the trigger bar. That's the poke bar, the one that breaks through the low of that green bar, or the red bar. It doesn't really matter, but the low. And then when price breaks through it, lo and behold, put a, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah. Look what happens. Almost to the micro pip. Closes through it, comes back, tested it, and then off it goes. We've got another one here. Let's move that over. We're on M1, remember. We're looking at the low, which effectively is both the, there's the triggers, because that's created slightly, well, green candles. You know, don't take what the 2B pattern literally. You're not counting candles or anything like that. You're just looking for a low that gets broken by another candle, and then the break of the candle that broke the low there. Sorry, I was distracted for a moment there. And look, we've popped back, but we don't have to pop back to this level. This is why FVG is a load of BS, because they, you know, that's part of their entry. You know, what about all the other stuff? What about the fact that the MACD has gone from red to green right on that bar? That's the close of it. That's the bar we wanted to see. That's the pullback, and that's the continuation. So we've, you know, RSI, unfortunately, I've only limited the bars. It does cause a bit of lag. So I could increase them, but I'm not going to, because I'll digress again. But here you have 2Bs within 2Bs, within 1, 2, 3s within 2Bs, and your momentum being the final nail in the short moves coffin. And that's it. That's why momentum, multi-time frame momentum indicators work so well, because they're traffic lights. I love my traffic lights. I love my green and red. Sorry, I didn't mean to scroll back on. I wanted to move over there. I absolutely adore them. You can't sell there. You cannot sell against 3 green bars, which close there, there, and there. That, on this particular chart, is the entry. That is why I love what I teach, preach, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, 9 or 10 pips, the whole move was 12 or 13 pips. You know, scalpers get by on 1 pip. And if you are new to what I do, you know, people have been taking money out of brokers. Don't listen to all the myths about brokers either. There are brokers that will embrace scalpers. Prop firms won't, because they're crooked anyway. All your prop firms out there, I've not got one that I would be confident about making money for, unless you are a scammy little influencer making money trading with prop firms and getting your 30, your 10, 5, 10, 15, 30 grand checks for as many years as they're happy to pay you. I mean, Andrew NFX was hammering, reaming the prop firms, and they were loving him until he just kept taking too much. You know, at the end of the day, even the influencers can't rely on it, so you have to just get in and get out quick, make money while the sun is shining. That's prop funding firms. Absolutely horrible way to make money. But actually, if like FTMO they offer demo facilities, and you know, you can trade within their rules, that's probably the only company that I would, well, I don't use any of them. I use demo charts and all that sort, but I wouldn't rely on them. Excuse me, I've gone off topic again. Excuse me, I had a full English breakfast, that's why I kept pausing this. Delicious. A real treat though. I tried to keep as healthy as possible so that I can enjoy my retirement. So, that is my preach rant about indicators. If you want to fail at trading, or if you want to take years longer than necessary, then do not, you know, the opposite. If you want to get, you know, speed up your trading process, embrace indicators. If you want to fail or lengthen your trading knowledge, progression to profitability, then believe the BS, the perpetuated BS by idiots that say indicators don't work. Some are rubbish. I suppose the majority are rubbish because I'm limited down to 3. I am going to try and find other ones that work, but the majority are rubbish, but they're not all rubbish. And reminder again, bars and candles are an indicator, guys. So if one person is using candles and bars and tells you indicators don't work, you know they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. That's every person that says indicators don't work, because candles are indicators. They're using indicators. All these people, they're lying. That's it. So back to the other reason for making a video that failed to upload, well, failed because I ballsed it up, is the MACD dashboard that I used or introduced yesterday, found yesterday and introduced it yesterday. When it works well. And the coder obviously is clever because it's got lots and lots of facilities, but it has a few bugs. So I will try and reach out to the coder and get it ironed out. If any of my friendly coders fancy putting something together, then please DM me, because I have loads of ideas about moving forward with all of these things. So Dinesh with the RSI, if you watch this, I doubt whether you will, but if you did, or anyone that knows you wants to contact you, give me a shout about maybe improving this. And the reason being, I feel you guys, all of you, Aaron, Dinesh, Dean with Dean's Lines, and Onesie, and I think this came as a result, the final upgrade to the RSI Histo came as a result of some work done by both Dean and Onesie. Well, all of the coders, you know, I've never seen an EA work as well as Onesie's Train Hopper. You know, unfortunately it didn't work in live environment, but that's another story. But you guys, all of you guys, and some I've missed out, but I'm just talking about what's on my charts now. All of you guys deserve to earn money from these things you've produced. I don't want anything. All I want is you you know, maybe upgrade them and then put them as paid things. Please let me test them for free, and you know, we can you know, come to some agreement like that. Anyway, so I'd love to see a really good MACD dashboard. In a perfect world, I wanted to see a cumulative. So say these were all green, or let's say all the yen pairs were green. I would love to see the most powerful. Sorry, I need to delete that, and I keep forgetting. Don't even know what the alarm was for. But I need to see. I would love to see the most powerful. I haven't shared this. I currently use, you know, suppose these are all yen pairs, 3 yen pairs that I like, and they were all red right across the board, say, or let's use green because they're up the top now. And I would then use all of these, if every box is red, to see which, all green rather, sorry, to see which is the most powerful. Ideally, I want to see 80 plus. And if, say for example, D1 is 80, H4 is 78, and H1 is 76, but the others were 78, 75, and 69, then this is the one I want to focus on. And then it depends on timing, time of day, and everything else. All the other stuff I use, these two as well, well, all three actually, of course, 3 CRs and everything. But I currently want to do is, you know, if I'm trading M30, H1 or whatever, a small move, maybe a reversal against the higher time frames, then I want to see, you know, these two pretty strong in the 80s, say for example. And these are only 70s and these are only 69, then that's the one I want to be looking at. But I only use it as a quick. Everything else matters as well. You know, room to supply above, room to support and resistance above, all those different things. So everything matters, but that will be my first. That's the way I'll make my first click. Look at UJ. Well, we're on UJ. That one's. Look at DAX. Oh, excuse me. Let's have a look. See if I can. So M30. Yeah, I mean, this is a bad example. It's smacked straight into demand. Yeah, I could go on for hours about this. I could write a book about this particular setup. So we won't go down that road. So back to indicators. Yeah, if we could get an improvement on that, and then you know, do whatever you have to do, charge for it, and all the other ones, then I think you ought to do it and make some money. So anyway, back to this. I don't want, like I said, I don't want anything. Just let me do the development and testing and stuff like that, and potentially, possibly, if you could, let me have the source code just to have a play around for my own fun, and then hopefully make a few quid. Not out of the, not necessarily out of my loyal following, but moving forward for newer traders. Because why shouldn't you get money for your efforts? I mean, you are the elite of the elite as far as I'm concerned. This is all my coders that have helped me along the way. Aaron, of course, and hopefully I've not forgotten anyone else on my charts. So, because we can always improve the indicators. It's a fantastic job you do, guys, but you shouldn't have to do it for free. I hate when you do the work like Dean did on the multi-time frame RSI. You've done the graft, and for whatever reason, we didn't pursue it. So we move it forward on a proper footing, as it were. Now, this thing, and this will be the last part of this video. I've ranted on for long enough, but it is, remember, it's three videos all thrown into one. I've got another idea, but I'm not going to share that one here. I will put that on a new video. So this thing, I am convinced it has massive potential. I've always loved Bollingers. Multi-time frame Bollingers, there's got to be an improvement because I am a multi-time frame trader and it just keeps getting better. And I've yet to study his multi-time frame pivot point indicator as well, but that looks fantastic. But what I saw this morning on a short on gold was that my RSI was got me into the trade. In fact, can we bring that up? It was over here. And I actually got a short down here as well because of this. But that was hilarious because, well, I say hilarious. It was weird how it happened because I was in take one of this morning's video here saying that this is brilliant because the RSI and, you know, you've got divergence I talked about on the two different indicators here, there, higher high there, making lower high there and a lower high there. And these still have millions, well not millions, but thousands of new nuances that will improve things moving forward. Remember, I always forget to say this, but you only need one good idea to make money trading. But if I supply you with dozens of times of day to find trades, all in a systematic format, then you can choose what works best for you. And the other thing, you know, there are loads of, I know I spend my life seeming to slag off the influencers and the newer traders. There are people, and that's why I do occasionally watch their videos, very rarely now, because like this morning's, it just wound me up. I need to find some way of being super selective. But loads of traders and non-traders, just technical analysis guys, if you like, they have really, really good ideas. I haven't been on Forex Factory for years and years and years in any sort of sensible form to learn. Same goes for YouTube because 99% of them follow, you know, drive me insane, increase my blood pressure, whatever you want to call it. But I am obsessed with charts, so I can't help myself learning. So back to this. This was a brilliant potential entry. You know, you can see what it's done. It's broken through the final, you know, there's your final 3CR at the top. This one failed, but it wasn't the right format there. I'm talking about the sell, sorry. The sell compared to that one. The bearish 3CR failed to go bearish, but we know why. There was no divergence. And, you know, you can't, as I said earlier, you can't trade into a green, you can't sell into green momentum. So this is all right. This is a good sell. Plus, I was going to put the break of, you know, if we put the line chart on there. Oops. Oh, let's put a level on. I was going to draw a box. Funny how price is at that level right this moment. And, you know, so it's obviously a significant level. That'd close through it, that'd close through it. So, you know, we're already in a short scenario at these bars. So I probably would have used, this is M5, I would have used M1 to enter that a lot earlier. Now this was telling me it was all pink, sell zone. That's telling you get ready for a sell. So all three were get ready for a sell. When the sell actually triggers on this indicator, they all three need to be red. Well, all three don't necessarily, because if you're trading, this is M5, this is M15, this is H1. So if you're trading a pullback, you really only want M15 and M5 to be red. And this might still be pink, for example. But they were all pink, saying wait and hold. And it was the same all the way down to here. And then in the time it took me to delete the old video and start making a new one, they'd all turned red. And as a consequence, I took a short. Now, the reason I'm repeating this video, or repeating this this important, in my opinion, scenario, was that I was sort of, in the first take one, if you like, sort of writing this off as having any value. But it then occurred to me that it may only work on the second, like that is your first entry, if you like. And what often happens, you'll get a second, and this is what I mean. Sometimes you'll get a second pink arrow, and it may just mean we have to wait. We expect, it adds probability. That's what I'm trying to say. This would have all been red on the gold, and go for it around here, and then it still would have been all red, and these would have been gone from pink to red around here. And that's why I actually giggled to myself, because I was saying the jury's out on this one. This is in part 2, and I had to virtually, fortunately I hadn't published the video, I had to eat my words, because it became brilliant at the second move. So maybe, maybe that, I need to test all different time frames. I need to test all sorts of different things with this. But I said at the time, even though I was not slagging it off, as it were, but saying it's not as good as what I've already got, I was caveating that with, I am convinced that it may be fantastic for swing traders, or it may be fantastic for continuation trades. If you're thinking, well, this is too far gone, and you're not sure whether to hit it, if this has just gone from pink to red, all three pink to all three red, then what's to say that that isn't belt, braces, and a piece of string to hold your trousers up? So, but I think there's loads and loads of ways to skin this cat and add value to all the other stuff I do, because I've already got lots and lots of different continuation entries. But as you can see, that's interesting, whether that is actually a pullback, bust and break. Let's double check that, because that's the bust, essentially. That is the pullback, and that is the break and close. So if this one is lower than that one, or equal to it by, equal to it or lower than it by 1 micro pip, 1 digit, then that is a valid entry signal, sell. And that, obviously, you can see this is what I mean by, the TMA is actually shedding tons more little secrets. And then on the lower time frames, obviously, you'll get possibly this scenario, where it goes from green to red. I love that. I absolutely adore that. From red to green here, look what's happened. So maybe we have to have this green, red, green, and green, red, green, red. Wait for the second batch of greens, maybe. This is what I mean by constantly learning. But if, like I said, and I apologise, I did say I wouldn't go back to this, but if you discount indicators as all being rubbish and all being lagging, you are missing out on some fantastic trading tools. And as I said earlier, trading is all about absolute confidence when you hit that button. And ex-professional traders and professional retail traders that scalped blew me away. I couldn't get it. And not many shared what they were up to. They just share their results. And or they just, like Claudia One was heavily into pivots, and I didn't have the time or the inclination to get into that, because I was heavily into 2B and 3CRs at that stage. But yeah, let's just double check that. Unfortunately, you don't have the digital levels on there, but you could draw lines on there, I guess. But this one, we do. You have to hover over it 2 or 3 times to get the correct number. No idea why that is. So it is a big number, 34.35. Now 34.26. So that is where that is a really, I'm glad I brought this up, because I would take that on the strength of the TMA. So I now have the TMA is my new best friend. So, and then, you know, I'm not going to change time frames now, but I could use the multi-time frame analysis as well. And I need to have one eye on the clock, see what time of the hour it is, the time of the 15-minute and time of the 30-minute, and where we were. I mean, we can look at that, but it gets complicated when you're not doing it live. So that, I mean, this is what it says. So triple moving averages, slope, TMA slope, or triangular moving averages it might stand for. But regardless, all I'm interested in the fact that it's telling me that the price is in a very deep trajectory. That's a big word. I can never say that one properly. It's in a big slope. This is telling me this is all flat. Flat, flat. And I love this because instead of all this noise, which we can't iron out, when that goes from grey to green, I get all excited. You know, when that goes from above 0 to below 0, I get all excited. That's all right. That matches. But this is the bit that this has a pips the post. No, all of this here, I can't possibly consider a long without it being green. What's this telling me though? It doesn't give me any value. Grey to green. Yes, please. I'm getting all ready to drop down to M1 and see what that can tell me. 3CR up, pull back, continuation. So that's it. I've covered everything I wanted to cover in this particular video. This I am loving. So see what has to happen here. GJ, let's just quickly look at that. Pound yen. When you're ready, I need to reboot something seriously. I thought it was AVG earlier, but that stopped and it didn't make any difference. So pound yen, looking at the live chart. See what I mean? We've got our trigger there. This is brilliant. This is just what we needed to see at this point in the video. We've got our RSI histo, bust, pullback, break and close. And we didn't even get any drawdown, excuse me, from that entry. But this on pound yen, oh, I'd also like, if we're going to concentrate on this, or any MACD, maybe a combined MACD stochastic, or maybe one of each, MACD and stochastic dashboard. I want to see, you know, them do what Dean did for us. So they all line up strongest to weakest, and so on and so forth. But let's have a look at that. So that was the confirmed entry there, the close of that candle, and that's the move. So no idea what happened there, but told you my machine was acting rather strange. And again, go away. Oh, it's the arrow. Yeah, reboot time, I think, after this. Uh-oh. Let's just take it from the open to the high. 73 to 87. 14 pips. I'm speechless, actually. That, and this is nowhere near it at the moment, GJ, needs to be all this colour, lime green or lawn green, whatever it is. All three. Why M5 isn't? Because we're on M5. So supposedly it's not anywhere near the top Bollinger Band, which I suppose is right because it's not now, is it? But but I'm not sure where it has to be when they all go bright green in an up move. So, but if it agrees with all the momentum and stuff, then we know what we're up to. And this is how I discounted all the rubbish indicators. You know, this one is matched up to the 3CR, which is my god of candlestick patterns. Remember, you know, everyone that says indicators don't work, this is built on candlesticks. Candlesticks are indicators. The 3CR is a brilliant, in my opinion, but I would say that, candlestick pattern. And then, you know, the RSI is built on that candlestick pattern. I mean, look how they've took both candles. That one went from a bullish green candle to a wick, inverted hammer or shooting star, whatever you want to call it, and boom, they've both closed red. That's the current candle. That's the new one. It's not going to be green, is it? Because it's a red candle. And you tell me they're lagging. They are not lagging. That is not lagging. I'm so glad I kept this video going for this last bit, this GJ. So don't take my word for it, guys. Do a few years or, you know, 10,000 hours studying and you'll prove it to yourself. You don't even need that. A month, a week could do it, really. So there you go. I suppose to close this, don't believe the crap about indicators. Always test everything yourself. And stop switching methods. Find people that you trust implicitly and learn from them. My trust came from searching out, hunting for true ex-city professional traders, and then realizing that all the BS about professional traders not using indicators and not trading like retail traders is just that, BS. And that is what you need to take on board in order to start moving forward with confidence in your methods. That's what worked for me. And then I think I mentioned this in an outtake video, but this is really important. At the start of your trading journey, the easiest part is understanding chart patterns. 10%, people say. I mean, they're all clutched out of the stratosphere, aren't they, these sayings? But the biggest part of trading is psychology, fear of missing out, greed, wanting that one extra trade because you're trading on adrenaline of the last winning trade. I don't call it over trading, I call it adrenaline trading. So that's it, guys. You know, 10% of what you need is here. The other 90% is trusting your method so you can put your money where your mouth is. And as a scalper, I've said this many times, but not in this video, scalping enabled me to practice 1,000 trades when one swing trader will take one, or 100, let's put it 100 to 1. So I'm getting more exposure to charts and price action and training my brain, pointing to my brain again, which I know you can't see, training my brain to understand the muscle memory required. I had even considered hypnotherapy. I haven't done it, but who knows, might find a hypnotherapist when I'm on my travels and have a go. So there you go, guys. Thanks again for watching. Sorry it is a massively long video, but this is actually probably about 7 or 8 hours work for me to produce this one video now, because my own fault, of course, and interruptions and all the other stuff. But let's wrap this up now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget, YouTube tells me you must subscribe. Click the bell button as well. Apparently you're not properly subscribed unless that's clicked, so you get notifications. And like it. And if there's anything that's hit home with you, then a nice comment would be appreciated. I don't always get back to answering the comments, so I apologize for that, but it's a full-time job making videos. It is a full-time job keeping Twitter rolling over. So YouTube guys, I'll just thank you on Twitter, and if I get round to late replies to comments, then so be it. Of course, if you put a really important question and you've used exhausted search on YouTube and you've exhausted search on my Twitter feed, then I will either point you to the right search term video, or if I've got the time and the inclination, if it's a short answer required, then I'll make you a video, personalized video, if I get time. Anyway, thanks again guys. Really appreciate all your support as always.